Hello and welcome to another beautiful day in Paris. Today is a Saturday, it's the weekend, and I've just gotten ready, and at the moment I'm having a flick through the full programme for university. So the first semester we have to choose what modules we want to take, and which is a bit different because at Bath, the university I was at before I came here for the exchange, all the modules are compulsory, so you don't have a choice, you just do everything and everyone does the same thing. Whereas here you have a maximum of 30 points and different courses have different points. So the project is compulsory, that's 12 points, and then other things are around 2 to 3 points normally. There are some that are 1.5 points or credits, and you have to add up the modules you want to do to fill up the points, the credits. And I'm having a bit of a hard choice because if anyone knows me, they know that I am really bad at making decisions. I like everything, I want to do everything, and it's difficult to narrow it down. So far what I'm doing is just reading through everything. And if I read something where I'm like, that sounds interesting, I would like to do that, I write it on the list. And if there's something where I'm like, no, I don't want to do that, then I just skip it. And yeah, so it's my first stage of narrowing down. But there are some that really stand out to me. For example, there's a module that's called Construction and Atmospheres, Rehabilitation and Intervention on Older Buildings. And it just sounds really good because basically in the future, my dream career path to follow through architecture would be to do conservation architecture. So working with older historic properties and renovating them, or just bringing them to a way to live today, which is not only sustainable because it's using things that already exist and not using more resources, and also avoiding demolition, which is obviously a waste of resources, but also there's something about old buildings that makes my soul very happy. I think it's the layers of history that are integrated into the building, because obviously initially when the building was constructed it took a lot longer, everything was done by hand, manual labour, and it was a labour of love. Buildings, I feel like a lot more attention to detail was put into them. It wasn't just about doing it as quickly and as cheaply as possible, which lots of buildings are like today, but people wanted to make them somewhere that you feel happy living in. So there are lots of beautiful details, whether that's carvings in the stonework or just beautiful things that you don't find anymore. And I love that about old buildings, and thinking about the people who lived there before you or walked there before you, and everything that happened leading up to this point, and just generation upon generation adding to the building. And I just love it. It makes me very, very happy. Whereas today I feel like buildings don't have a soul quite often. They're just cold, and I don't know, I don't get that good feeling when I'm in them. So that's my personal preference, and that's why I would like to follow that career path. And so it made me very happy to see that they offer a module that is to do with that subject. So I'm definitely going to be putting that on my list when I apply for my modules. I don't know which ones I'm going to get because it depends with how the timetables go together and whether there's clashes and things, but fingers crossed I'll be able to get that one because that one appeals to me the most, and I'm really looking forward to starting it. My plan for today is that I'm thinking I'm going to visit the Victor Hugo house, because he lived in Paris and his house on Place des Vosges is open to visitors. It's a museum now and I haven't been yet, so I thought that I would go have a look and take you with me. The weather is set to be quite nice today, although there is definitely a chill in the air. It's a few days ago it was the first day of autumn, the autumn equinox, and since then I feel like you can definitely feel the autumn is here. In the mornings when you go out, the air is so crisp and cold, and the leaves are turning, and it's just not summer anymore basically. I know I'm still wearing quite summery clothes, but I'm probably going to have to bring a cardigan or a jacket or something when I go out in the morning. By midday it's always really hot, it's like 24 degrees, but it takes a while to heat up, and in the evenings it gets really cold again. So I'm gonna have to get used to that. But at heart I'm not ready for summer to be over. So yeah. But I hope that you're excited to go to the Maison Victor Hugo, and yeah, I'm not sure what else I'll do today. Probably just spontaneously, if I see something along the way then I'll show you guys, but that's what I've got planned for today. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so this is my outfit of the day. I have a denim skirt, white trainers, this lovely top which I love the cut of from Urban Outfitters, and I put a pearl clip on just to jazz it up a bit. So yeah, let's go. On the way to the museum, I passed through the Rue Montorgueil, and if you ever visit Paris, I definitely recommend coming to this street. Located in the 1st and 2nd arrondissement, this street is lined with restaurants, cafes, bakeries, fishmongers, cheese shops, wine shops, florists, basically everything that you could want. What I like so much about this street is that you won't find many tourists here. It is a place where locals come to socialise and do their daily shopping, and it really gives you an authentic taste of Paris. Of course, knowing me, today I was instantly drawn to the florist, which had the most magnificent display of flowers and really took my breath away. While passing through, I decided to stop at Stohrer bakery to try one of their croissants. Stohrer is an iconic bakery because it holds the title of the oldest pâtisserie in Paris. It was opened in 1730 by Nicolas Stohrer, baker to King Louis XV. The shop itself is now classified as a historic monument and is signed by a student of Paul Baudry, who decorated the Opéra Garnier. This patisserie should be on your list of places to visit, if not for the high-quality, mouth-wateringly delicious pastries, then just for the experience of coming to such an elegant shop. I love how that in Paris, even something as simple as going to buy a baguette or a croissant becomes such a grand event. So this is the croissant from Stohrer, the oldest pastry shop in Paris. And it's really light and fluffy, so big. They know how to make their croissants. Okay, this is one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. No exaggeration, so you have to go to Stohrer if you're ever in Paris. My mind is blown. Okay, now that I finished my croissant, I'm heading to Victor Hugo's house. Let's go. Victor Hugo might just be the most famous French author of all time. Born in 1802, he was a poet, novelist, essayist and playwright of the Romantic movement. His literary career spanned an impressive 60 years, and he is probably best known for his novels Les Misérables and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. One of his lesser-known passions was art, and during his lifetime he produced over 4,000 drawings, some of which are on display at the museum. Victor Hugo also had a tangible impact in the world of politics. He was an avid campaigner for social causes, and was even involved in the fight for the abolition of capital punishment, for the freedom of the press, for universal suffrage, and for free education for all children. Although Hugo's many talents did not include exceptional musical ability, he nevertheless had a great impact on the music world through the inspiration that his works provided for composers of the 19th and 20th centuries. In fact, two famous musicians of the 19th century were friends of Hugo, Hector Berlioz and Franz Liszt. The latter played Beethoven in Hugo's home, and Hugo joked in a letter to a friend that, thanks to Liszt's piano lessons, he learned how to play a favourite song on the piano with only one finger. His house, located on the prestigious Place des Vosges, is in the heart of the Marais district and enables visitors to really connect to the famous French writer. He lived on the second floor of this hotel from 1832 to 1848 and wrote some of his major works here, including a large portion of Les Misérables. You can really get a sense of his personality walking around and the inspiration for his works by seeing where he lived, his furniture and his personal objects, which really reveal a lot about a person. And do you want to know what the best part is? Entrance to the permanent collections is free! Yes, you heard that correctly. You can explore this treasure trove of beautiful interiors, literature and art for free, and there is even an inviting cafe in the courtyard for the perfect end to your visit.
piece of paper, my desk is out. Who will care for the world now? Rest with me, close to curtains, brew some herbal tea. Reach out for me, take my hand and lead even when I disagree. Oh, I love when it rains outside, and it's okay to slow the ride. Discover books I forget about. Who care for the world now?
So I just got back from the Maison Victor Hugo and I really loved it. It was so good. I just love seeing the houses of artists or writers because it's really interesting to see their personality expressed through interior design, because obviously the way their houses are presented represents their personalities as well, and seeing as well the location where the famous novels that we know and love so well were written, because I just find it so moving. So I really loved walking through it, and I was actually really surprised at the extravagance of the interiors. Like the wallpaper choices were really bold and opulent. There were lots of silk wall coverings and tropical plants and butterflies and things, and it was really interesting to see, and I really loved it. And there was also a temporary exhibition on Victor Hugo's art, and previously I wasn't aware that he was an artist as well, but yeah, he had so many incredible drawings and paintings, and they were quite dark, and I think that suits his writing style as well, because he's not necessarily the most optimistic story writer. But yeah, it was really really deeply moving to wander around his house. And yeah, his house is just off the Place des Vosges, which is the square with the fountains and the trees, and it's a really lovely location. The view from the window is really beautiful. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed walking around there with me. So now I'm going to practice piano, and I'll see you when I finish. Now I'm probably just going to flick through this book that I have that's filled with vintage photos of Paris. I got it here. I love things like coffee table books and books of just photos, whether that is photos of interior design or art or travel books. And I feel like in the evening when you're kind of tired and you maybe haven't got the concentration to read a book, flicking through a coffee table book like this is one of my favourite things to do. I also love magazines like the Country Living magazine was my favourite magazine to get in England, or Period Living as well. I loved looking through the pictures of just interiors and beautiful rooms and pictures of different places to visit in England and the countryside and things like that. It was one of my favourite things to do with a cup of tea in the evening or something. So I haven't got any other types of coffee table books, just this one and some that I picked up at art galleries in Paris. But yeah, I'm looking forward to just chilling on the sofa and doing this after having walked all day. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, then please like it and subscribe to my channel to join me on more adventures around Paris. And I will see you next time. Bye!